Well, there is one constant about me, if y'all haven't figured it out yet. I like buying things at auctions and I like buying them cheap. Or if they're not cheap, I at least like them to be neat. Like, this International wasn't necessarily cheap per se. I guess to some people it probably was. I gave $250 for it, but it wasn't cheap, like ridiculously cheap like I typically buy, but it was really neat and I didn't want to let it go. And that kind of happened again, and I bought this little Cub Cadet. Now, I doubt any Cub Cadet people really follow me. And as usual, pardon the mess, there's a lot going on in here. Anyhow, I doubt Cub Cadet people will really follow me. Probably because I have never posted a Cub Cadet video before. But there are a couple small engine people that follow me and things like that, I think. So this may interest y'all. But I picked up this Cub Cadet 104 in an auction, and I gave, what was it? I think $250 for it also, which was more than I was going for, but unless anybody has any disagreements, I think it's it's dirty, but in pretty decent shape. Nothing's missing. The paint's still here, for the most part, under all the dust. Decals are still pretty crisp. And it's got this little tiller on the back, so I don't think it was awful. I'd have paid, nearly that for the tiller, so I thought it was pretty good. And everything seems to be intact on it. It even has a little steering wheel button there. The seat, although it is starting to separate right here, it's still there and not completely solidified. I hate that it's coming apart, but what can you expect? Don't really know of anything I could do to save that, unfortunately. But even has some stuff in the toolbox here. There's the little hitch. It's kind of ironic. I made one pretty similar to that for my 1650. Different parts and stuff. Now there was a mower deck, a blade, and some kind of little landscape rake that was also in the same auction, but a different lot. But man, somebody drove it up nearly to $100, and I couldn't do it. I'm not that into them, but I am pretty interested in this tiller. Now, usually if I do a garden, I'm looking at doing upwards of an acre, sometimes 2, and I usually don't because I just have too much other stuff to do. But I kind of wanted to get this for my grandpa because he has an old, it's actually not old, it's pretty new, Cub Cadet, like walk behind, rear tine. But I thought this would be pretty slick for him. He could really get his garden whipped into shape a lot easier than dealing with it. I hate using those stupid walk behind ones. They're nice for some things, for sure. And they're definitely nice if you're not doing much, but this will definitely be a little bit step up if easier. You can just ride around. But everything seems complete, like I said, and the choke or the throttle and the choke all move. Steering's pretty tight. Seat is intact. Motor turns. It wasn't a barn. It was in the back of a barn. Now the battery, I did note, says March of 02. So I'm kind of assuming probably the latest they might have run this may have been 04 or 05. Unless they were literally just jumping it off. So, I don't know. I'm guessing probably 15, 16 years at least since it ran. You never know. I mean, they may have thrown that battery on there and never really used it. So, anywhere from probably 02 to 05 it ran last. So, 15 plus years. Oil is beautiful. Apparently it was perhaps pretty well maintained. May have just been some old timers did their garden with it. Oh man, the tank is beautiful too. I think it's going to be a breeze to get this going, to be honest with you. Anyway, it's interesting for sure. I'm not a big mower guy, whereas the people in this hobby like to call it a garden tractor. And I mean no offense to people that call it that, but around here when I was growing up, when we said garden tractor, we meant something more like a Farmall Cub or Farmall A or B or something like that. But I can understand both sides of the story, so I'm not trying to argue it. But anyway, I'm saying, you know, these aren't necessarily always my thing, but I do have a few of the old Cub Cadets, so if anybody's interested in seeing videos on them, feel free to drop a comment, and I'd be happy to dig out some of the others. And I got several implements. And what do I have? I have 2 originals. 2 originals, a 129, a 1650, which is actually at BS Small Engines. Check him out if you don't follow him. Good friend of mine. I need to get him the parts to get that one going. And then I have like a 1210 or something, which is actually, it's not an international Cub Cadet. It's like a CCC one, I think, but still kind of interesting. Anyhow, I just wanted to give a quick little walk around of this little guy. Sorry for boring you with it, but I think it's pretty neat. Whether they're really my thing or not, I can enjoy them. Anyway, I'll do another video after I get closer to getting it running, maybe in the next couple of days. It's kind of stuffed in here, literally. Behind that we got the Avery. Past that, I do have a few more auction buys I want to do a video on, but one of the most important of which I haven't got yet. We're gonna have something else to do, a little revival series on. I know I'm not done with this one yet, but you take stuff when you can get it. But this one should be done probably within the next week. I should have this one, hopefully have part 3 going up. I have to finish part 3 first. I got the clutch cylinder in, so I got to put it in and get the clutch blood out. And then we tried cleaning the gas tank. I think it needs another round. So we still may do the boat gas tank thing in the bed. I don't know yet. But anyway, I got more stuff to get ready for the show. It's coming up real quick now, so should see several more videos this week. So stay tuned, and thanks for watching.